Hey guys, Marsinged here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we did our summons for Frieza live on stream here earlier today, and we pulled one copy of him. His banner is kind of interesting with the 3 rotations discounted with a free multi at the end, and the third one is guaranteed featured. So if it was for a good unit or like a banner that had a lot of like high profile characters, it would be a really tempting summon even this close to the anniversary. But I think with the lineup of units on his banner, probably still not worth summoning on. But lots of bonus stuff, discounts, free Kais. They brought the Super Saiyan Hercule statues onto Global finally. But we got our copy of Frieza. Here he is with his intro animation. Just the one copy, of course, so this is the 55% showcase. Before I pulled a single copy of him, I rainbowed Dodoria. So we have a rainbow Dodoria on the team. And then we have a friend unit, which is 79%. So we'll see the difference between the two. I think he's 79%. We'll see the difference between the two here. Yeah. So full level 1 links, minus full level 1 links. So something to bear in mind, of course, is the fact that Frieza is a Big Bad Bosses character. So by having Big Bad Bosses at level 1, it means we're not going to have that active a lot of the time, because at level 1, in order to get that 25% extra attack and defense, we have to be at 80% or less HP, which can activate mid-turn. But then, of course, once you get your link to level 10, it's just active all the time, as long as he's next to someone else that has Big Bad Bosses. So that is something to bear in mind in this show for the showcases. Not only is he going to be 55%, but Big Bad Bosses is not level 10. So what we have, 300k defense start of turn. All right, so let's take a look at Frieza here. So he leads Planetary Destruction or Space Traveling Warriors for 3 key 170, and then gives the extra 30% to Inhuman Deeds or Terrifying Conquerors. It's a bit of a wonky category. I mean, this team, you can see, has some decent units on it, but I mean, the fact that I had to bring these guys whose name I've already forgotten now, Armand and Raisin, kind of shows you the limited options. This guy's on the 170 lead though, and we know he's crazy, so that's pretty good. His super attack, he infinitely stacks attack, raises defense for 1 turn, does immense damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers attack. So it'd be interesting to try him out against Red Zone Kid Buu. I will do a video for that at some point. Because the first stage is STR, and then you can greatly lower attack against the int phase, so that could be interesting. So he gets his entrance animation, which gives him attack and defense 100%, and launch an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super for 5 turns, when there are another 2 or more Space Traveling Warrior allies on the team when he first appears. Then you get 3 key attack and defense 150, additional attack and defense 150 when attacking, which is good because it's not when supering, so even if he gets sealed, he still gets that buff. Additional defense 20% and chance to perform a crit 10% per Terrifying Conquerors ally on the team. So this is where his passive is a bit weird, because Terrifying Conquerors isn't part of his 170 leader skill set, but he wants those characters on his team as well in order to get buffs. So I mean, a lot of the units on this team, I think most of the units actually, it's like Kid Buu and then Harudagan, I think, are the only characters who aren't on Terrifying Conquerors, which means if we include the friend Frieza, we do have 5 characters, so that's giving him an extra 100% defense and 50% crit chance. Then he gets an additional 100% attack and launches an additional super, starting from the turn in which he performs the 5th attack. If there's a pure Saiyan enemy, he gets an additional super, and then when there's a low class enemy, warrior enemy, he gets additional 100% attack and 50% chance to crit. So basically, he's just like a big damage dealer. He can do a whole bunch of additional supers in 1 turn. Once he's done 5 attacks, he gets a massive jump in attack as well. But we'll be able to see that in action here. I'm doing the Cell Red Zone because it's one of the older events that is at least a little bit longer. And unfortunately, as not many people probably will have summoned for Frieza in general anyway, it was very difficult to actually get a Frieza friend on the friends list. So I didn't want to jump into... I was thinking about doing the Majin Buu absorption one, like the Buuhan Red Zone. But what with the sealing and locking and all of those shenanigans, it would be very possible that we just get killed. And then I have no other Frieza friends. So Frieza was at 300k defense start of turn. That means when he attacks, he gets 150%. So he goes up to, what, like 750k? And that's without the actual effects from his super attack effect as well. So his raw defense isn't terrible. The only problem is that he doesn't have any other defensive tech, right? Like, he doesn't have guard, he doesn't have damage reduction. He just has raw damage numbers. So we did, what, 3 attacks? He did an additional normal and then an additional super. Takes double digits. Obviously, this is, you know, early sell. Kid Buu giving the 70% support to extreme units is obviously huge as well. So that's going to be very beneficial. I mean, he got like an 8.3 mil on his turn 1. So that's without big bad bosses. Because the friend here was 79%. But is also level 1 links. So that's without big bad bosses that he would have been getting from Kid Buu. Which is another 25%. So that is pretty good. We do still have Limit Breaker first form sell. Let's go. Right, so we have Dodoria on rotation as well now. Because he has guard. I guess I don't really care about these guys supering anyway, do I? So 55% Frieza with the Dodoria support and the Amand and Raisin support is at 300k start of turn as well. Frieza's army is this weird link that only like 7 units in the game actually have, or actual URs, because these are just the SSR versions of the URs. So we've got Thirst for Conquest, Fierce Battle, Frieza's army. These guys we don't care about. And then we'll get a super for you. But yeah, the big thing you want to see is Frieza get the 5 attacks within the early turns where he has his intro buff, because then he gets that extra 100% attack as well. And that's when you'll see him jump up to start doing some pretty crazy numbers. But yeah, they still haven't fixed the aura. So for some reason, second form Cell has the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 aura. I don't know why. Yeah, so there's the crit. Get an additional normal with a crit as well. Nice. See, only 2 attacks. This is the problem. I gave him a little bit of extra additional and then some dodge in the hidden potential at 55% thanks to the bronze and silver skill orbs. But he wants to do 5 attacks in order to get that boost. So ideally what you want is, like the first Frieza, I believe, did that. Him to get 3 attacks in the first turn. Because then in the next turn you only need to get 2. Which because of his passive he should be able to get. And then that gives him the full buff. So if he does a 3rd attack on this turn, which is a super, that will be him with the extra buff active. So I think he's stunned anyway, so I don't need to worry about floating off Rudigan. I won't have big bad bosses active anyway because we're only at level 1 links. So go ahead and let Frieza do his thing here. So without support, we're at 259k start of turn, so basically 260. And then of course remember that Frieza is going to get 150% on super from his passive. So that puts him straight up to like 650. And then he still gets 30% for the turn with each super attack effect as well. So 7.7 mil. I mean, that's not bad. Remember, the friend one here is 2 dupes, but considering this is before he has all of his buffs, 8.1. Right, we need him to do 1 more super, and then that should be... Now he has the extra 100% attack. Yeah, so now he jumps up to basically 12 million. So you can see here, Frieza can do a lot of damage in 1 turn, and is now not far off of 1 million defense, which means he's tanking all normal attacks in the game. This is why I think people underestimate some of these characters, right? Is people don't like the fact that with 1 million defense, just as a raw defense number, he gets killed by the big boss super attacks. Because if a super attack does like 1.5 million, then he takes 500k because he just has 1 million defense. But he tanks all normal attacks in the game, and only dies to supers, while being a unit that will be dropping... What did we do on that turn? It was like 8 million, 8 million, 11 million, 11 million in 1 turn. Like, that's what he's on the team for, right? He's a damage dealing unit. He's not a defensive unit. And now we have the Kid Buu support. Unfortunately, this is the one that hasn't got his full buffs yet. But, and remember, Kid Buu has big bad bosses as well. So once Frieza gets big bad bosses to 10, having Kid Buu floating on his team is a character that's going to enable him to get big bad bosses active, even if you're running characters like Golden Frieza in slot 1 who doesn't have it. So this is my one again, 55%. So we're at 8 million here with Kid Buu. up to 8.4. That was his 4th attack, wasn't it? So he won't get the buff on this next one, which he didn't attack again. So that's, I think, where he's going to be disappointing, because he's on the team to be that big damage dealer guy. But if you get this scenario that we've gotten with my one, where his first 2 appearances he just does 2 attacks, then that's it, right? And he doesn't have his build up or anything. So right, so Frieza does have the active skill. Can be activated when there is a low class warrior enemy at any time, or a pure Saiyan enemy starting from turn 3 or from turn 5. So a lot of the time, some of the anniversary content, we're going to be fighting against pure Saiyans, so that'll be good that you can use it from turn 3. Otherwise, it's turn 5, which isn't that bad of a condition really to wait for. And then it does ultimate damage to the enemy and disables an enemy action. So it does have the action break. He's not attacking in slot 1, so there's no real reason for me to do anything here other than, I guess we can let Dodoria attack just so Frieza has the extra link active, and then we'll let Frieza kill. So Frieza's at 346k on this turn, now that he has like all these buffs and everything. So 346,000. Remember that he's going to get 150% on super from his passive and the actual super attack effect buffs. So he only really needs to do like 2 supers on this turn, and he's already over 1 million defense. So again, like a damage dealing character, as long as they can tank all normals, I feel like that's perfectly fine, right? They're able to fulfill the role that we want. He's at 15.3 on this turn. Again, this is the friend one, so he has 2 dupes, and he has the support from Dodoria, but yeah, pretty good. And then, yeah, 15.9, because he's infinitely stacking attack as well. So now his intro animation buff is going to wear off, which means his numbers will drop down a little bit. But the fact that he's able to hit those kind of numbers this early is quite good. Now, Hirudegarn could get us killed here. Although what I could do, if I turn the animations off quickly just so we can transform Hirudegarn, let's go ahead and do Frieza's active skill. Now, unfortunately, this with my Frieza, he hasn't attacked 5 times, so he doesn't have that 100% attack buff, but he does action break with his active skill, so he's going to get rid of that attack in slot 1, which is where Cell always super attacks in this phase. So do the active skill here, fire off the giant death ball. Probably doesn't kill, unfortunately, because he doesn't have that build up, but yeah, 9 million crit. If this was the friend one, that would probably be a one-shot, because not only has the friend one got the 2 dupes, but he also has his full passive active, whereas this guy doesn't. Let's do this. Yeah, because he's going to be action broken, so then Frieza can just kill him. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, additional and then dodge, I think, for Frieza, because he has a lot of crit in his passive, so he doesn't really need crit, I think. And then yeah, because getting supered is like his biggest weakness, so him having some dodge, I think, is definitely very beneficial. Obviously, there's only so much you can do if you don't get dupes. But I mean, there you go. That's him with his intro animation buff worn off at 55%. He's still hitting multiple 9 to 10 million attack stat supers in the turn. Each one raises his defense by 30% on top of the buff that he already has. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And then, let's see, we'll use the active skill. That's one of the things I should have checked on the last turn, is when you use his active skill, he should get his buff from his passive, because it's attack and defense 150% when attacking. So when we do the active skill, he should get that buff now, and we can see what his post-super defense is. This should do some decent damage as well. His intro buff's worn off, but he has the 5 attacks buff. Yeah, 28 million crit. Just did like almost 3/4 of this guy's entire health bar. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously Cell's not like the craziest boss or anything, but still. Yeah, he doesn't link very well with Kid Buu, sadly, but Kid Buu's there for the support. And then, yeah, Frieza's at 814k defense. So, apart from, I guess, maybe fully built up in Kid Buu, like, he's tanking all normals at this point. And then bear in mind again, every super attack that he does is giving him an extra 30%, which his start of turn defense was like 300k, right? So every super's giving him about or close to 100k defense. So even if he just double supers, he's over 1 million defense on this turn, which is pretty good. And this is him again, even though the friend has dupes, this is him at level 1 links. So if we had Big Bad Bosses active, that's an extra 25% attack and defense as well, which means he clears 1 million defense easily. So yeah, so Frieza is a fun unit. He's just kind of wonky because his leader skill's not the best. He needs Terrifying Conqueror as allies, so it means his team build is a bit weird. But like, he's definitely a fun unit, and he can do a lot of damage, which is what he's on the team to do. And as we said, right, like the anniversary content, there's a lot of stages where you're fighting against a pure Saiyan. So he's going to be getting that guaranteed additional super attack on top of all the other ones that he's doing as well. So I would say for a 55% level 1 Lynx character, he's pretty decent. He fulfills his role, which as I say is to be a damage dealer. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. If you did summon, I hope you got good luck. If you haven't summoned yet, but you're planning to, hopefully you do get good luck. Let us know how that went down below in the comment section. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Frieza. I'll get him link leveled, and then we'll take him into some other events for some other videos and stuff. We'll do the new red zone stages and things like that later on today. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of Frieza down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.